is my presentation of learning. Okay. My high school adventure started before my 8th grade year even ended. There's a rumor going around that there was a new program called MPX in high school, and it was for only for projects. I thought this program was going to be for the geniuses who love doing work and just went home and did stuff. But then I went to one of the seminars, and they described how it was projects and how it helped you learn self-motivation. So I wanted to challenge myself, so I decided to sign up for it. In August, when the school year started, I was definitely an IB person. I spent my entire school life doing that. I was the kind of person who would listen to the teacher, go home, do a worksheet, take a test the next day, turn it in. But then, the moment I turned that test in, forgot everything. I joined the MPX program. This was probably the scariest thing I've ever done, especially because this was my first year of high school, and I didn't want to fail, since this is when it starts being important for college. As the year started progressing through the first couple of months, I started getting what it was trying to teach, but I still never really got the system. But I liked it. It didn't feel like a robot anymore. I was my own person. I was also finding I was having way more fun than people in IB. I remember the first major thing we did in humanities was the Rwanda project. It was a real game changer for me. It was the first time I'd ever done something like this. But change could be good, so I gave it a try. Turns out it was one of the best decisions I made in school. This really introduced me into the MPX style of learning and gave me a taste into how things were going to be done for the rest of the year. Now, this motivated me a lot because everybody in IB at the time was struggling, and I was just having fun thinking it. The Iliad was my favorite humanities project because I had so much fun doing it. Wait, hey, go back. Had so much fun doing it, and we learned at the same time. We spent a big chunk of our first and second quarter doing this project because it was such an interesting book. It was referred to as the second Bible because almost everybody read it. Now, we made a YouTube video, which I thought was pretty cool because everybody's been on YouTube with such videos, and now we can contribute to that. That video was so interesting that I'm surprised it is a Bible. At this point, it was a good way into the year, and I'm still trying to grasp the fact that the old style of lecturing and worksheets was no longer my thing. I felt like I was doing something productive, something useful, and at the same time, I really liked learning. Now, on the STEM side, I think the worm bin was a vital success, but a very part to our success in the aquaponics kit, which I'll talk about later. This taught us prototyping, blueprinting, and other things that we need to build and construct a working model. This was really fun because it was a hands-on thing. It was something we built, something we can use, something functional. It was definitely a motivator because it was fun and it was something we could be proud of. We built that. And I can also change the world with my new skill set. And the overall best thing we did, definitely, without a doubt, was the aquaponics kit. This was a fun experience for everybody. It also had taught us so many things like prototyping, construction, different business necessities, such as calculating gross and net income, communication with others, and how to pitch a design to make our product sound the best. Sure, it had its ups and downs, but we did it. We persevered through it, through everything that we did, every argument, every disagreement, everything that stood in our way, we got through it. This program has taught us something that IB could never, and that's do what we love and love what we do. There's a famous saying that I find so real now, because I know what it means. If you love your job, then you'll never work a day in your life. I think now that the end of the year is coming, not only a changed student, but a changed person. If life pushes me, I'll shove it right back and tell her what to do. I'm my own boss, and there's nothing in it. Thank you.
Questions for Ethan?
How do you plan on continuing?
Continuing what?
Well, like, what are your plans for next year?
Next year I'm going to continue the MPX program. Yeah. And hopefully we can extend it to junior and senior year.
What are you gonna try and do to not become a robot when you go back to the IB?
Well, if I'm forced to go back to the IB, then hopefully I can just do my own side projects at home, like on the weekend and during vacation, just to keep my mind going and do these kinds of things.
What do you think your biggest takeaway from FDX would be out of everything that you learned this year?
Self-motivation, probably. This program has taught me so many things, like you should do your work because it's fun. You should want to do your work, not because you have to.
You said that you were a robot and the standard-based learning. Did you excel in standard-based learning compared to MPX?
I wouldn't say excel, but I did pretty good. I got like B's. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're doing better than MPX?
Grade-wise, I don't think I'm doing better. But like work-wise, I think I'm doing good job.
Do you feel like there's, and you said it in the beginning that a rough start. Also,
Well, I wasn't really used to the projects. I was used to somebody telling me what to do and then I would do it. And in the beginning of the year, it was like, you guys do this over this amount of time, and I would just procrastinate all the way to the end. And just do it like all in one night because I didn't want to do it.
Just a question. You said that taking a PX was the scariest thing you'd ever try or something like that. I can't remember exactly how you said it. So if you were going to tell a ninth grader coming in next year, if you had a chance to meet with them, either what they could do so that it wasn't so scary or advice you would give them, what would you do? Or what would you say to them?
Something you can do to make it not so scary. It is high school, beginning of high school year. But it's worth the risk. It's a thrill. It's like bungee jumping.
Do you think that the MPX program can work for anyone who enters it, or does there need to be a certain skill set or personality type that would make it applicable for you?
I'm confident that it's a good program, but it's not for everybody. There are those people who only can do the worksheets, the tests. There are those kind of people. So it's not for everybody, but it's worth a try.
what did you spend food on doing?
Well, we started working on an iPhone case. Okay, so the design we're working on right now is a dry erase board where on the back you have a dry erase board where you can write down notes, and when you're done, instead of it rubbing off in your pocket, you would have a protective layer over it where you could snap on, and you could just a clear one so you can see through it.
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you, Ethan.
Anything in regards?